Welcome back, dear students of Class 8. Today, we are going to start with part 5 of our Chapter 5 Introduction to Java and BlueJ. Students, in this part, we are going to study how to write our first Java program, which is a very important lecture. So, let us quickly begin. Now, students, in the previous part, you studied how to install BlueJ in your computers, right? So, I hope you have seen that part and you have installed BlueJ in your respective computers. Because in order to write our first Java program, we need to start BlueJ. Okay, because we are going to use BlueJ IDE or BlueJ integrated development environment to write and execute our Java programs. So let us begin with it. The first step is starting BlueJ. How to start BlueJ? Click on the start, then go to all programs, search for BlueJ, then click on BlueJ. Or you can also double click on the BlueJ icon which is present on your desktop to start BlueJ. The first screen of BlueJ will appear for a moment, followed by the BlueJ working environment. So let us quickly start that. After the BlueJ working environment opens, you can go ahead and create your first Java program. So let us quickly do that. The first thing is I'll go to my desktop. This is my desktop, and as you can see over here, this is the BlueJ icon. This one over here is the BlueJ icon. This one. Okay. Now I'm going to double click on this BlueJ icon, and this is the BlueJ's starting screen, and this is the BlueJ's working environment. Okay, this one is the BlueJ working environment. So what are the next steps? Let us quickly see. Now, creating a Java program. To create a new program, first click on the project menu. A pop-up menu appears. Select new project option from it. You will find new project dialog box on the screen. Define the project name. Let us say ICSC. So they are asking us to give the new project name as ICSC. You can give any name, which will store the file for this project. And now click on the create button to move to the next screen. So let us quickly follow these steps. First, go to this project menu over here, click on it, then click on new project. The new project dialog box has opened. Over here we need to type the name. Now they are telling us to name it as ICSC. Now you can give it any name. Okay, so I'm giving it name class 8, or let it be ICSC only, ICSC. Okay, now, and then I will click on OK. So the new project has been created. This is the new BlueJ project with the name ICSC. Okay. Now students, what we need to do is click on this new class button over here. Sorry. Now you will get another screen. Now click on the new class option. The BlueJ create new class dialog box appears. Define the class name welcome in the text box and click OK. Now what they are asking us to do is that click on this new class button. Now students, if you remember, Java is an object oriented programming language, and object oriented programming languages uses classes and objects. If you remember my previous lectures, okay, we studied about what is an object and what is a class. So we are going to create classes, and inside these classes we will create objects, and these objects have two things. that are attributes and methods. Okay, attributes and behaviors. Okay, objects have attributes and methods. So I have explained you all these things in the previous classes. So we will start by creating our first class. Okay, so to write our first Java program, we have to create a new class. Okay, now students, before starting this, I'll just quickly tell you what this program is about. This is the first Java program in which we have to get the output as welcome to the world of Java and BlueJ. This will be the output. Okay, this should be printed on the output screen. Okay, so this will be our first Java program. So let's do what they are asking us to do. We'll click on this new class button, and after clicking on the new class button, you have to give it a name. They are asking us to give the name as welcome. Okay, because this is our first Java program, so they are asking us to give it a name as welcome. It doesn't matter what name you give, you can give any name to your class. Okay, so as per the requirement, I am giving welcome name. Okay, and then we have to click on this OK button. As soon as we click on the OK button, you can see that a class is created over here. This is the welcome class. Okay, what to do after that? You will get another screen as shown in figure. See, this is how we got our first class. Yes or no? Welcome. It's written over here. Now the class named welcome is created and its icon appears on the BlueJ ICSC window. So BlueJ ICSC window, this is the BlueJ ICSC window, and we got a welcome class over here. Okay, moving on, double click on the welcome class icon. So this is the welcome class icon, we will need to double click on it. So let's double click. So after double clicking, this window has opened. Okay, sorry. The program code window appears as shown in figure 5.7. So this type of window has opened over here. If you can see over here, see this window has opened. Yes, and some things are written over here. This is the program code window, this thing. Okay, some program is already written over here. Okay, now what we need to do is that we need to delete all this. Okay, we need to delete all this. See, writing our program code. Select the program code. Already this, whatever is written, we have to delete this. Okay, how to do that? Just click anywhere over here. Press Ctrl plus A. All the code has been selected, and now we'll press the backspace key and delete everything. So now the program code screen has become blank. Okay, now what we need to do is we have deleted the previously default program code, and now type the new program in the program code window as shown in this figure. So we need to type this first Java program. So I'll quickly do that, and then I will explain you about the Java program. So let us first type it. Okay, program 1 asterisk / then asterisk my first program in Java. Now students, basically these two lines are optional. These first two lines are optional. Actually, these two are the comment lines. Okay, the comment lines are always written inside this / asterisk and asterisk / between these two, whatever is written, the Java compiler simply ignores it. The Java compiler does not execute these two lines. It will just ignore it. Now, if it will ignore, what is the purpose of writing it? The purpose of writing it is very easy, very simple, is that it is written in order to tell up something about the program to the other programmers, or to yourself also if you are a programmer. Okay, suppose you have written some program, and after years after you open that program. Okay, so in order to understand what that program is about, you write the comments. So it is totally optional. Even if you don't write these comments, then it's okay. Okay, now the third line is where the our programming will start by writing public class. The name of the class is welcome. Now this is the part from where our Java programming is going to start. So this is the, and then this opening curly brace. Okay, I will explain you what is the meaning of these public, class, welcome. Then whatever I am writing, public, static, void, main, don't worry, I'll explain you what this is about. String, args, system dot out dot welcome to the world of, sorry, Java and Blue J, double quotes, curly braces off, curly braces off. So this is our first Java program. Okay, I'm compiling it. It has compiled, no syntax errors. Now what are these things happening? Okay, I'll quickly tell you about this program, the explanation of this program. Okay, so let's start with the explanation of the program, of all the steps one by one. Okay, this is what I have typed in the BlueJ, right? So statement number one, what is statement number one? This line, asterisk, oh sorry, forward slash, asterisk, asterisk, then program one, asterisk, then forward slash again. Now I told you that this statement one, whatever is written between this and this, is a comment, and as soon as Java sees this, it ignores that particular line only. Okay, same thing with this is also, now this first statement is a comment about the program. This is totally optional. I've already told you about it. Then statement number two also is a comment. Okay, it tells about the purpose of the program. So it is telling, this is my first Java program. You can write anything inside this, it doesn't matter. Whatever you write inside it, it doesn't matter, because the Java compiler is going to totally ignore these two lines. Okay, and it is optional. If you want to write, you write. If you don't want to write, don't write. But the third statement, this is the very important statement, public class welcome. Now students, Java programming language, as I told you, is an object oriented programming language, and object oriented programming languages deals with classes and objects. So we have to create a class. See, this statement over here specifies that the name of the class is welcome. Okay, the statement, which statement? Public class welcome. Now this word public, I'll tell you in the uh, in a short while. Okay, but you have to write this public class welcome. This is the part from where we start our Java programming. So now this name we already give when we created a new class by clicking on this new class button, right? Okay, so public class welcome. See, I've written it as it is. Okay, this public is a keyword, class, this class is also a keyword, and this welcome, okay, you can change the name of this. If you can keep any name as you want, but this name over here and the name that you give when you give the name of the class should match. Okay, so it should match, everything should match, the spelling, the uppercase, the lowercase. One more important thing, when you write this word keyword public, when you write this keyword class, then you will always write them in this small or lower case, because Java is a case sensitive language. So you have to write everything as it is. If you write this P in capital, then see it starts showing error. Class interface or enum expected. This is an error. See, when I compile this, it is showing me error. Okay, this is an error. So that's why you have to write it in small only. Okay, as it is. Java is a case sensitive language. So you have to, if you write anything, see, now it is showing errors. Okay, so you have to type class. Okay, public class and then the name of the class. This is the syntax. Okay, this is how you are going to create the class. And then after creating the class, in the next line you will come and you will open this curly braces. Now this curly brace is open, on the other hand this one is closing. Okay, this one is opening brace, this one is closing. Okay, this one is closing brace, and these two come in pairs. So over here, by typing this curly brace, okay, we are telling, or the Java virtual machine or JVM, that we have opened this class. Okay, now everything is going to be written inside this class welcome. Okay, now moving on. So statement number 3 specifies the name of the class is welcome, public class welcome. Now statement number 4 is a curly brace to indicate the beginning of properties and methods associated with this class. So this curly brace over here, which is our statement number 4 in this particular program, is a curly brace to indicate the beginning of properties and methods associated with this class welcome. It simply indicates that whatever code we are going to write inside this class will begin after this. Okay, so this is the opening curly brace. With the help of this curly brace, we are opening this class. Okay, and now inside this curly brace we are going to define properties or and uh, properties and methods associated with this class welcome. Okay, moving on, the next line is public static void main string bracket, okay, round bracket string. Remember, public small in all in lower space, static all in lowercase, void again lowercase, main again lowercase, and then inside the bracket you will write, you will open and then close this square brackets, and then you will again close the round bracket. Now what is the meaning of this line? I will explain you this line in detail. Don't worry about it. But statement number 5, what does it define? Statement number 5 defines the basic attributes of this class. That means it is defining this main method. Okay. it is telling about the main method, the method inside this class. Okay, the method inside this class. Okay, what is the name of the method? The name of the method is main, and this main method is of how, what type? It is of public type, it is static, and it is void. Okay, this is the name of the method, which is, what is the name of the method? Main method. I will explain you about this line in detail. And inside this we have passed an argument or a parameter of the main method. So this string args, which is written inside this round brackets, is the argument. Okay, I will explain you this line in detail, don't worry about it. Then this curly brace indicates the opening of this main method. Okay, this curly brace indicates the opening of this main method. Okay, so statement number 6 is a brace to indicate that the main body of the program begins from this point. So what is the main body of the program? This, and this is opening this main body. Okay, moving on. Then they have written system. Note that this S is capital and rest of the letters are in lowercase. System dot out dot. Okay, inside the round brackets, first they have written double quotes and they have ended with double quotes. Now whatever is written inside this two double quotes, inside this system.out.println, okay, whatever is written inside the double quotes will be printed on the output screen as it is. Okay, and then this semicolon is there. This semicolon is used for terminating the statement, terminating this statement. Okay, so what is this system.out.println? Okay, I will explain you that also. Okay, basically this statement number 7 prints message on the screen. So whatever is written after this system.out.println, okay, and then inside the brackets, inside this double quotes will be printed as it is. So what is going to be printed on the screen? Welcome to the world of Java and BlueJ. If I write over here class 8 students, then this will also be printed on the screen as it is. But what will be printed? Whatever is written inside this double quotes, this double quote and this double quote. Okay, so I've changed the program a little bit, and then this curly brace closes this. See, these two are in pair and these two are in pairs. So this curly brace over here is closing this main method. Okay, so statement number is 8 closes the corresponding brace specific, and then this is the corresponding brace. Statement number 9 closes the corresponding brace specified in step 4. So this closes the class, and now we have successfully written our first Java program. So I need you all to type this Java program in on your screens. Now I know you have not understood many things what is written over here. Don't worry about it, everything will be explained to you. Okay, now after writing the correct Java program, okay, what we have to do, what we have to do is we have to compile the program. Okay, see, we have to compile the program and then we have to run the program. But how to compile and run, I'll tell you later. Okay, first let us try to understand the structure of a Java program. That means let us further get to know what are these things. What are these things? What is public, class, and all these things? What is public, static, void, main? So let us start with it. So the above Java program is made up of following parts. This Java program is made up of following part. Okay, first is the comments. Now let's talk about the comments. The text within slash asterisk and whatever is written, okay, and then slash asterisk or after double slash is treated as a comment and is ignored by the computer. So whatever you write after this or after this will be completely ignored by the compiler. You can see the color of this is different than this. This is very light because this is getting ignored. This has been treated as a comment. Okay, so I hope you understood. A single line comment begins with a double slash, double forward slash. So single line comment means what? This is a single line comment. This is also a single line comment. Okay. But if you want to write a multiple line comments or a comment block, then you write it inside this. Okay. This one is wrong. Okay, this one is wrong. The one that is written over here, this double asterisk. Don't use double asterisk. Okay. So this, if you want to write multiple line comments, okay, then you can write multiple line comments also. Okay, this is welcome to Java program. Sorry. See, now what I have done, this is a multiple line comment, right? Which is written inside this. Okay, and this is a single line comment that is written inside double slashes. Okay, I hope you understood what is comment. Okay, I hope you understood what are comments. Moving on, class declaration. Class declaration. Declaring means telling something. If I when I came to teach you for the first time, then I told you, I declared to you that I am your computer teacher. Yes, I told my name, I declared my name to you. Okay, yes or no? So in the same manner, class declaration. The declaration starts with this keyword class in small. The class keyword. See, I told you the keyword. Okay. Keywords are the special reserved words in Java. Okay. The class keyword declares or tells the program's name. So, see, over here it is written public class welcome. You can also write it just like this, class welcome. Okay, this will also tell that the name of the class is welcome. But then why do we write this public? That I'll tell you later. Okay, it is an access specifier. This public keyword is an access specifier. I'll tell you later about it. Okay, so let's go back to the class declaration. The class keyword declares the name of the program. Okay, it indicates that we are going to create a new class. For example, welcome is the name of the class in the above program. So in this program, the name of the class is welcome, and we have declared that by using this class keyword. Okay, so to declare the name of our class, we are going to use the class keyword. Okay, the name of the Java program must match with the class name. What is the meaning of this? That when we made this class over here, we clicked on this new class button and then we typed the name welcome over here. So this name and this should match. I hope you understood this. Okay, so I hope you understood the class declaration. Moving on to this line. Public static void main string args. Now students, I will read whatever is written inside this one by one. Okay. So let's talk about main. What is this main? Small. Okay. This is error. It should be small m. Okay. What is the meaning of this word main over here? This main. Okay. The single method used in the welcome class is called as main method. Okay. Now see, this is the main method. The main method consists of this main word keyword, this curly and these two round brackets, and this string args square bracket close. This is the argument inside this main method. So this is the name of the single method that is present inside our welcome class. Okay, because the class contains objects and objects have attributes and methods. Objects have attributes and methods. Attributes tell about the property of the class and methods tell about the behavior of the class. Okay, so we have used only a single method in this welcome class, which is called as the main method. The name of this method is main. Now, why is this main method important? This is the place from where the program's execution begins when the class is executed. So this main method students is the place from where the execution of the class will begin. That means whenever we write a Java program, the JVM will first search for the main method. This is the main entry point of our this Java program. Okay. The main method is defined as being public static with void return type. So this main method is defined as what? Public static with void return type. That means the properties of this that means this main method is of type what? Public, it is static, and it is void. It has these three things. Okay. The void is the return type. What is return type? I'll explain you, don't worry. In the above program, the main method contains only one statement. So this main method our contains one statement. What is that statement? This statement. System.out.println brackets, and inside this whatever is written will be printed as it is. Okay, so this main method contains only one statement, system.out.println. Okay, it can contain multiple statements also. We will see that in the upcoming examples. Now, what is the meaning of this word public? Okay, the keyword public indicates that the method can be called from anywhere inside or outside the class. Okay, what is the meaning of this word public? Public means what? It is open to everyone. It is an access specifier. This public is the access specifier. Let me tell you, let me show it to you. Okay, now this is the explanation of this statement, public static void main. Now this is going to answer why we use main method. This explanation, this quick explanation that I'm going to tell you about this public static void main line, this is a very important explanation. Okay, why we use the main method. Okay, what if we don't write main method in the class? Will it get compiled or no error will be there? What is the syntax of main method? The syntax of main method is this: public static void main string of args. Okay, now why the main method is static? Why the main method is public, why the main method is static, and why the return type of the main method is void. All these things will be explained to you. Okay, so don't worry. Now, moving on, first let us complete this explanation from the textbook and then I will explain you my way. Okay, So the public keyword indicates that the method, this main method, can be called from anywhere inside or outside the class. Okay, so public. Now your main method can be private also, your main method can be protected also. Okay, so this, instead of writing public, you can write private or protected also. But if you write private or if you write protected, then your main method cannot be accessed from anywhere. Okay, so in order for your main method to so that your main method can be accessed or called from anywhere inside or outside, is open to everyone. It doesn't matter who goes over there. Okay, uh, everyone, even the prime minister can go into that public park, and you and I, who are normal people, the VVIP people, can also go to the public park, and uh, the prime minister can also access. So everybody can access. That's why it's called public. So our main method has to be public, so that it can be accessed from anywhere inside or outside the class. So always remember that our main method will be public. Okay, I hope you understood the meaning of this word public. Moving on, why it is static. Now, it's not explained about this static over here. So I will use my PDF that I created to explain you why the main method is static. So I'll just explain you why the main method is static. Now, students, first let me explain you from the start only. Okay, yeah, just a minute. Okay, why the main method is static? Okay, question number 5. Okay, let me go to question number 5. Why the main method is static? Okay, static. The class members or the members of the class are divided into two categories. Now see students, this is our class. Welcome. And inside this class there are some members. Okay, now the class members the class members are basically divided into two categories. Okay, what are those two categories? The first category is called as class related, and the second category is called as the object related. Okay, I know this is difficult, but just bear with me. Okay, so the class members or the members of the class are divided into two categories related, which are called as non-static members. Now, class related members are called as static, and the object related members are called as non-static. Now, students, class related members or static members are those members which can be accessed without making objects of the class. Now, see students, you know that Java programming is object oriented. Now, in object oriented programming, we use the concept of objects and classes. Now, students, there is no object created in this program right now, but there is a class. Class has to be there. Now, there are no object created in this particular program. Still, this program will run properly and it will show us this output on the output screen. You know why? Because our main method is a static. Static means we don't need to create object for of that particular class. Even without creating the object of that class, the main method will be executed. That is the meaning of static. Okay, so class related members or static members are those members which can be accessed without making objects of the class. They are common for all the objects. That means static members are common for all the objects. Whereas object related members or non static members are those members for which we have to make objects, that is, they cannot be accessed without objects. Now, our main method is a class related method or a class level method. For the main method, we do not require to create objects, and that is why we use the static keyword. Hence, the main method is static. Okay, static means what? The main method can be static means what? We don't need to create the object for this main method. Okay, so I hope you understood public and now you understood static. Now let's talk about this void. What is this void? Okay, void. The void is a Java keyword. Again, main, public, void, static, all these are keywords of Java. Okay, keywords means was reserved words in Java. The void is a Java keyword which signifies that the function will not return any result except the text that we enter in the print statements. Void means nothing. Void means what? Nothing. Okay, and void is a Java keyword which signifies that this function, okay, it will not return anything. Return means what? Give. Okay, except whatever we have written in this system.out.println. Okay, so this is the meaning of void. Void means what? Void is a Java keyword which signifies that the function will not return any result except the text value we enter in the print statements. So that's why our main method is public, it is static, and it is void. Void is a return type. Okay, let me explain you why the return type of main method is void. Now when we create a method or a function, okay, so that we can write some statement inside it, then those statements can be executed. That is main method, or that is the method helps us to perform certain tasks. So the method that we create, any method, it method means what? Behavior. Yes, behavior helps us to perform certain tasks. If my behavior is teaching, then I am performing the task of teaching. So in the same manner, methods help us to perform some task. Now that method, after performing the task, will return us a value. Okay, so if I am teaching you, I am giving you something. Yes or no? I am giving you knowledge. That knowledge is the value. Yes or no? So in the same manner, when in Java some method performs a task, it returns some value. Now this value will be of which data type? Data type, what are data types? I will explain you in the upcoming lectures. Okay, that we have to write. Okay, now what happens that the this methods, when they perform tasks, they return value. Return means give some value. Now this value will be of which data type? That we have to write when we create the method. Okay, so when we create the method, for example over here we created the main method. Okay, so when we create the method, we have to tell the JVM what type of value it will return. And over here we have written what type of value it will return. It will return void value. Void means nothing. Void means null. If somewhere if I tell you something is void means nothing. So this main method will not return any value. Why it will not return any value? Because it is void. So the main method is public, static, and void. I hope you understood this. Moving on. String args. What is string args? The last part of this statement is string args. It is also called as the command line argument, where args is an array set of string objects that represents arguments or parameters passed on to the class at the time of the execution. So basically, the last part, that is string args, then this square brackets, it is called as the command line argument. Now students, if you remember in our this Microsoft Excel, we had learned to use some functions. Yes, like if I write 10 and 20 over here, okay, what we used to do, if we want to add this, we used to write equal to sum, and inside this uh, round brackets, we used to specify what? We used to specify the arguments. We used to specify the arguments, yes or no. This a1 and a2 plus a2, what is this? This is argument, and this was returning us the value, yes or no. In the same manner students, over here also, this is the main method or the main function. Just like this, sum is a function or a method to add these two things, right? If I type comma over here, if I type comma over here, what I've done, I am telling that whatever is inside this brackets, whatever parameters or arguments are inside this particular curly brackets, it is going to be summed. So this sum is what? This sum is a function in this or a method. In the same manner students, over here also this main is method or a function, and whatever is inside this round brackets is the argument that we have passed. That argument is of data type string. So this you will understand what is string data type in the upcoming lectures. Okay, what are data types in Java? This you will understand in the upcoming lectures in this chapter only. And this args, okay, and this represents array data type. Okay, now this args is the name of the variable. Okay, what are variables? That also you will understand later. Okay, so don't worry about this. Okay, so the last part of the statement, string args, it is called as the command line argument. I told you it is an argument or a parameter, where args is an array set of string objects that represents arguments or parameters passed on to the class at the time of the execution. Okay, so let's come to the next and the last statement, that is system.out.println. So system.out.println and then this round brackets. This statement is to use to print any message or result on the terminal screen. Okay, terminal means what? The output screen. Okay, whatever is written inside this round brackets inside double quotes will be printed as it is on the terminal or the output screen. Any text written inside the double quotes is printed as such. As such means whatever is written, that will be printed. Anything written outside the quotes will be treated as a program component. That means anything which will be written outside this double quote, suppose I write H, so this H will be treated as a component of the program and it will not be printed as it is. Instead, its value will be printed. Okay, and its value will be printed. Now what is the meaning of this value is being printed? That you will understand when you will understand the concept of variables. Okay, so don't worry. We can use plus symbol to combine two or more items in a single line. So this plus is called as the concatenation operator. So I'll just tell you what is the meaning of this. If I use plus over here, and then if I write inside the double quotes something, students of if I remove this from here and if I type it over here, so what is going to happen is that whatever is written inside these two double quotes and whatever is written inside these two double quotes, these two are separate things. This double quote is different and this double quote is different, but this plus will, what it will do, it will concatenate them. Concatenate means bring them in a single line. Okay, so that is why they have written the plus. We can use the plus symbol to combine two or more items in a single line. Okay, so this is our first Java program. After typing this Java program, what you need to do is you need to compile and run the Java program. Now what is compile? Now you had studied in class 6 what is compiling. Okay, compilation is the process of converting programming statement into machine level code by the compiler. That means what happens, this we have written in English language which we understand. When we click on this compile, okay, what has happened, this has been converted into machine language. Okay, and now this machine level language code will be understood uh, by the computer because it only understands machine language. Okay, so how to do that? Click on the compile, click on it, and over here class compiled, that means what, don't select it. Even if you don't select it, it will compile. Okay, so when you click on this compile, class compiled, no syntax errors, there are no errors present in this program. That's why it is compiled successfully. But if errors would have been present, suppose, see, I write this void as capital V and then I try to compile, then missing return statement. Okay, return statement is void. Okay, so it should be small. So now see, no syntax errors. Okay, so the class is compiled. After clicking, as soon as I click on compile, the class is compiled. Now what I need to do is that if there is no error in the program, it will display the message in the lower pane of the window as class compiled, no syntax errors. No, okay, so we have already, in case there are errors, remove them and compile the program again. So I just showed you by removing the error. Now click on the close button. So now we need to click on this close button over here. Okay, click on the close button. Sorry about this. So click on the close button and then you will come to this window. When you click on the close button, see, click on the close button, you will come back to this window. Okay, now we need to run our Java program. How to do that? Compilation has been done, compiling is done. Now we need to run or execute our Java program. How to do that? Okay, now right click on the welcome class icon. So you can see this welcome class icon options are over here. Which option we need to click? Okay, we need to select void main string args. Why void main string args? As you remember, this is the main method, and this is the entry point of our program, and that's why over here we need to select this option, void main string args. And now click on this and then see, it is what is opening, method call. Okay, what is opening, method call. See, you will get the BlueJ method call dialog box as shown in figure. So we will get this BlueJ method call dialog box. See, okay, now this is the entry point of our program, void main string args, public static void main string args. Okay, so void main string args, this main method is the main entry point of the program. Okay, now what we need to do after this comes, just click on OK. Just click on OK. this is the OK button. Click on OK, and this is the BlueJ terminal window over here, or the BlueJ output screen. This is the BlueJ output screen, and see whatever we had written inside the print system.out.println statement, it has been what? It has been as it is. Whatever we wrote inside the double quotes, it got printed as it is. So this is our first Java program. Okay, I'll just remove this, and now I'll show you that, see, whatever is inside the double quotes, it will get printed as it is. Compile, close, right click, void main string args. Okay, and now you will see two. Okay, I'll show you again. Void main string arg. See, welcome to the world of Java and BlueJ. That last time two lines were showing because we didn't click on this. Clear the screen at method call. So always check this. Okay, clear the screen. Go to options on the output screen and click on this. Clear the screen at method call. Okay. Now close this. This is the output screen. Okay. So this was our output screen. Congratulations, you have written your first Java program. Okay, students, so this is how you are going to write your first Java program. Okay, now students, it has been a very long lecture. So now the next part I will teach you in the next lecture. Okay, in the next lecture we'll talk about all these things: keywords, okay, what are constants, what are variables, and then you will understand everything what I explained you over here. I know that some part of this you have not understood, but you will understand that later when you understand the concept of this variables, constants, and everything. So don't worry, even if you don't understood this, when I'll explain you the concept of variables and constants and keywords and different things, then you will understand. And after that understanding them, when you come over here, come back to this lecture, then you will understand the structure of Java program in a better manner. So don't think that only by watching this particular video you will understand the structure of Java program. You need to understand what are different things. So when I teach you in the upcoming lectures, you need to combine everything and then you will understand everything. So with this, I want to put an end to this lecture. In the next lecture, students, we will talk about the compilation, Java compilation process. Okay, or Java compilation process, and then we'll do some example programs. Okay, we'll do some more example programs, and then we'll talk about fundamentals of Java language. Okay, so till then, you guys take care of yourself and be well. Okay, don't worry if you have not understood when I'll explain you fundamentals of Java language. Okay, then you will understand everything. So now I'm going to put an end to this lecture. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself and be well.